After my secondary differentiation into an omega, my damaged pheromones became unstable, causing me to go into forced heat whenever I caught a whiff of my rival's scent. The worst part? He remained oblivious, strutting around campus like a walking aphrodisiac. I couldn't take it anymore and transferred schools under cover of darkness. A year later, we collided again on the university basketball court, me surrounded by dormmates begging for other alpha's contacts while Grayson materialized like vengeance incarnate. His ivy-laced pheromones coiled around me as the alpha cornered me against the wall, warm breath ghosting my ear. Weren't you pining after me? What's with this sudden change of heart? Hold up. Since when? If anything, I should have been the one sucker punching him back in high school. Before I could protest, Grayson's arms locked around my waist like steel cables. Let me hold you, he murmured, suddenly vulnerable as a drenched puppy. I've missed this. Get lost. I shoved against his chest, but my traitorous body froze when his signature ivy scent intensified. Sharp pain lanced through my glands as sweet orange blossoms exploded into the air, my delayed heat cycle crashing through 17 months of suppression. Chaos erupted on the courts. Which omegas in heat? Where are the suppressants? Voices shouted over scrambling footsteps. Grayson's hands steadied my trembling form, callous palms branding my skin through thin fabric. You? His throat worked soundlessly before the damning question fell. Since when did you become an omega? The revelation hung between us like shattered glass. All this time, he'd never known. Never realized our rivalry had been layered with biological inevitability. My knees buckled as citrus musk saturated the court. Grayson's conflicted gaze the last thing I saw before darkness swallowed me whole. I gritted my teeth and glared at Grayson. Damn it, he'd discovered the secret I'd been hiding for so long. God knows how that bastard would mock me now. I opened my mouth to salvage my dignity when my mind suddenly went blank. The world flipped upside down as darkness swallowed me. The last thing I saw was Grayson's panicked face shouting for doctors while cradling me. Summer and Grayson had been everyone's favorite rivalry since childhood. Well, mostly my one-sided competition. I couldn't stand anyone outshining me. Summer was meant to be number one, period. I competed with Grayson over everything: childhood spelling bees, popularity contests, even how many love confessions we received. If some girl asked him to the middle school dance, I needed 2 admirers by sundown. When we turned 16, I waved my S-tier alpha test results in his face for 8 straight hours. 2 days later, the universe betrayed me. Grayson presented as Alpha 2. Worse yet, he kept giving me these weird lingering looks, like he wanted to throw down but was too polite to say it. Obviously, this meant war. I started ditching classes to hang with burnouts, hooking up with random guys behind the bleachers. Every time, Grayson would crash the party with half the football team. He even had maintenance weld shut every crawl space in campus walls. By junior year, our feud turned nuclear. I'd ambush him with burlap sacks in alleyways, only for him to show up at my house later sporting fresh bruises, strategically displayed for Mom's benefit. He'd play the wounded saint defending me during her lectures. What a two-faced jerk. Everything changed after senior year midterms. My body betrayed me with secondary differentiation, omega status. The cruelest joke? 99% compatibility with Grayson. According to federal bonding laws, matches above 95% get mandatory marriage licenses. Bullshit. I accused Grayson of hiring actors as doctors until my traitorous glands proved otherwise. Whenever he walked by, my neck burned like someone held a lighter to my scent glands. The guy was basically walking pheromone grenade. After nearly going into heat during chem lab, I begged my brother Logan for emergency suppressants and transferred schools that night. Couldn't risk Grayson discovering how I'd bragged about someday claiming him as my omega. Back when our roles seemed reversed, the hospital's antiseptic stench assaulted me before I fully regained consciousness. Fluorescent lights revealed for lines snaking from my arm. Somewhere beyond the curtain, Grayson's voice argued with medical staff about proper omega care protocols. My stomach dropped. 3 years since transferring, and fate still wouldn't let me escape him. The air carried a faint trace of evergreen pheromones that inexplicably calmed my nerves. Grayson hovered nearby with concern etched across his features. A year apart had sharpened his boyish face into angular maturity, though his overgrown bangs still shadowed those intense eyes, casting him in brooding mystery. His basketball jersey clung to him as he immediately summoned doctors when I stirred awake. The physician studied my chart with deliberate slowness, making me wonder if I should draft my will before he finally spoke. Your secondary gender differentiation caused volatile pheromone imbalances. You require consistent alpha stabilization. Without it, you risk shock. This explains your absent heat cycles. Your gland's been blocked. I bit my lip, avoiding Grayson's gaze. I don't have an alpha. The doctor nodded toward Grayson. His pheromones show 99% compatibility, unprecedented levels. He's your most effective treatment. He's not mine. I snapped. Semantics. The doctor shrugged. Stay near him unless you enjoy medical emergencies. After the physician left, our stare-down lasted precisely 2 seconds before I lunged for the door. Grayson pinned me beneath him, knees bracketing my hips as he gripped my chin. Running again. Summer? Bullshit. I need the bathroom. His humorless laugh acknowledged our history, how I'd escaped him during high school by claiming bathroom emergencies. When he finally released me, he made me leave the door ajar. The bastard actually thought I'd bolt through windows again. I did, faking gland pain during his second Dr. Fetch mission. I fled while suppressing laughter. Genius alpha my s, still falling for my terrible lies. Texts flooded my phone as I exited frowny face clever girl. Summer, keep hiding if you dare. Next time we meet, you'll explain everything properly. Why hide becoming Omega? Why disappear? I glanced back at the hospital. Grayson's silhouette dominated a distant window, wind whipping his jersey as he stared down with predator's intensity. Even blurred by distance, his anger radiated palpably. So what? Screw him. Flipping off his direction, I blacklisted the number and returned to dorm. Roommates swarmed me instantly. You're back. That alpha in your room. Doctors said you're cosmically compatible. Girl, he's that S-class hottie from rival college. The one rejecting every Omega's advances. How do you know Grayson? I collapsed into bed, exhausted from the pheromone circus. Tomorrow's 8 a.m. Class schedule loomed like death row. Let the world burn after sunrise. The next day when I arrived at the classroom, the atmosphere felt oddly charged. The usually sparse room was packed to the brim, leaving only the seat next to me vacant. I was beginning to question whether I'd walked into the wrong lecture hall or was still half asleep when Grayson sauntered in, breakfast in hand and a sunny smile directed at me. Damn it, was Grayson trying to publicly poison me? I'd barely risen from my seat when our elderly professor entered, squinting at us. You two youngsters standing around like lost puppies? Take your seats. Can't say I've ever seen such enthusiasm for my lectures. I scooted sideways to put distance between us, only for Grayson to snake an arm around my neck and pull me close. His warm breath tickled my ear as his pheromones enveloped me, making my knees weaken. Behave. He murmured low enough for only me to hear. Or did you forget the doctor's orders already? Peaceful coexistence with Grayson? Not a chance. Keep your hands to yourself in public. I hissed, suddenly realizing the absurdity. Wait. You don't even go to this school. Curious? His smirk widened. Beg me to tell you. In your dreams. I jammed my elbow backward. Crack. The force combined with Grayson's already wobbly chair sent him sprawling to the floor in a comedic arc, though not before he dragged me down with him. We landed in an undignified heap. Grayson's arms locked around me like steel bands as gasps rippled through the classroom. Typical. Disaster followed Grayson like confetti at a parade. Didn't realize my transferring schools would make you this eager to jump me. He chuckled, completely unfazed by our audience. Get off. I shoved at his chest. Young love is charming, but pipe down back there. The professor's voice cut through our scuffle. Between classes, Grayson cornered me in his car. His scent saturated the enclosed space, the cloying pheromones somehow easing the persistent ache behind my sternum. I caught myself leaning into him before jerking away, face burning as I stared out the window. I don't need your pity. Pity? His fingers brushed my nape. Featherlight. This is concern. Your secondary gender manifestation is destroying your endocrine system. The night sweats, the feverish glands. You think I don't see how you suffer? I stiffened. Damn him for noticing. Last night's brief contact had indeed granted me the first proper sleep in months. According to federal law, Grayson continued, all traces of humor vanishing. Our 98% pheromone compatibility makes us legally binding partners. My assisting you isn't charity, it's obligation. Sooner or later, you'll be my omega to claim and… Shut up. I clapped a hand over his mouth, ears burning. You can't just say that stuff aloud. Why not? His lips curved against my palm. You've been eyeing me since senior year. All those blushes when I walked by. That was rage. You delusional. And that time you accidentally spilled coffee on my shirt. My foot slipped. And when you… Enough. I lunged for the door handle, only to be hauled back by my waist. The car filled with his laughter, warm and infuriatingly attractive. This was going to be a long semester. I was fuming. How had I never noticed Grayson could be this shameless before? Just as I opened my mouth to curse at him, my scent gland began burning again. The tangy sweetness of oranges permeated the air. Grayson's expression shifted instantly. You're entering heat. My fingers clawed at the car seat as I rummaged through my backpack with trembling hands. I swore I'd packed inhibitors. Where were they? Need help? Grayson leaned closer, his ivy and musk pheromones intensifying. Our scents collided in the confined space, making my knees buckle. Molten heat flooded my veins, primal instinct urging me to press against him. I bit my tongue until copper bloomed in my mouth. No, I wouldn't lose control. Not to him. Not like this. Go find inhibitors. I shoved at his chest, voice cracking. Mine are missing. I took them. His fingers brushed my damp forehead. You don't need chemicals when I'm here. Panic clawed up my throat. Give them back. I'm not some omega for you to claim. I'm not. A whimper escaped as fresh heat washed over me. The door locks clicked mockingly when I tried the handle. Grayson's voice turned velvet, wrapped steel. Your body can't handle suppressants anymore. The doctor warned you after last time. His palm scorched my thigh. Let me give you a temporary mark. It'll ease the pain. Don't. My protest died as his pheromones thickened, sweet poison coiling around my limbs. Suddenly I was airborne, crushed against his chest. His lips brushed my eyelid, trailing fire down to the corner of my mouth. Relax. Summer. I've got you. Every rational thought evaporated when his teeth grazed my neck. I arched against him despite myself, choking on conflicting desires to shove him away and drag him closer. Cold metal pressed against my nape. Sharp pain bloomed as Grayson's essence flooded my system. Momentary relief quickly drowned by fresh hunger. His hands mapped my burning skin, stoking flames everywhere they traveled. Gray. Don't. My weak protest dissolved into gasps as he nipped my earlobe. Shoo. Sweetheart. Let me take care of you. I lost track of time until consciousness returned hours later. Sunlight streamed through unfamiliar bedroom windows. Memory crashed over me like icy water. I kicked off the tangled sheets, fury reigniting. That bastard would pay for this. After I killed him. My traitorous body thrummed with residual pleasure. Damn him. Damn these biology-defying reactions. Most of all, damn the lingering wish to feel his hands on me again. Thank goodness, my clothes were still on. But the exposed patches of my skin were a mess. Damn that Grayson. He just dumped me here and took off. Cursing under my breath, I sat up and froze. This place looked familiar. Wait, why am I at Grayson's house? Unless I'm mistaken, this is his bedroom. My neck throbbed faintly when I moved. How long had he been biting me? That bastard better hope I don't get my hands on him. The door creaked open as Grayson entered carrying a bowl. He reached to feel my forehead. Eat something. You haven't had a bite since yesterday afternoon. Don't touch me. I dodged his hand and threw off the blankets, only to collapse weakly against the bed frame. Shit. Careful. He warned, steadying me. Your heat's not over yet. The temporary mark isn't enough. You shouldn't be more than 3 feet from me. Temporary. Thank God. Give me suppressants and let me leave. I won't stay here. His arms tightened around my struggling form. Why are you fighting this? Do you hate me so much you can't stand being near me? Even with our 98% compatibility? I bit my lip. I still couldn't accept becoming an Omega. Couldn't accept my rival becoming my destined mate. It wasn't that I hated Grayson. I just kept thinking he should be the one getting marked. Not me. After being held captive at his place for a week until my heat passed, Grayson finally released me. My scent gland looked like hamburger meat. Worse, his pheromones had worn down my resistance until I craved his presence. What if this was just his twisted revenge? What if I fell for it? I lied about needing to prepare for a campus event to escape. Summer, heads up, that Marco Polo creep is camped outside with flowers again. My roommate texted as I approached the dorms. Attached was a photo of Marcus posing dramatically with roses, his hair styled like some Renaissance soccer hooligan. Perfect. Just what I needed after surviving Grayson. I should have checked my horoscope. This all started when I joked about his ridiculous haircut at the basketball courts last month. Now the delusional alpha won't stop pursuing me. At least Grayson's obsession made biological sense. Too late to avoid him. Marcus spotted me at the courtyard gates, bellowing my name as students turned to stare. Mortified, I tried slipping past, but he blocked my path. Summer, you're back. Wait. His nose twitched violently. You smell like an alpha. You're marked? But you told me you were into omegas. How could you get knotted by some alpha in 1 week? Before I could respond, cedarwood and bergamot cut through the air. My pulse spiked as familiar warmth pressed against my back. Problem here, sweetheart? Grayson's breath ghosted over my mating bite, arms circling my waist. His growl vibrated through both of us. This garbage bothering you? Every hair on Marcus' neck stood up. The courtyard fell silent as two alphas locked eyes over an omega. My omega instincts sang at Grayson's protective display even as my rational mind screamed. Shit, 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 shit. The next second, my waist was pulled into an embrace. Sorry, Summer's my omega. Back off. Grayson's voice carried Arctic chill, his arrival unnoticed. For some reason, guilt prickled my conscience like I'd been caught cheating. Especially when I saw the heartbreak flashing across his storm cloud eyes. Damn it, the campus retreat wasn't a lie. I just omitted that I didn't need to organize it. My plan to create distance backfired spectacularly when both Grayson and Marcus tailgate our bus. Turf King Marcus kept smirking like he knew something. I avoided them like landmines. Grayson turned clingy, insisting on some surprise night excursion I promptly refused. Now I hid in the reception's shadowy corner, nursing peach schnapps while watching my roommate fumble through confessing to her alpha crush. Their awkward kiss suddenly resurrected memories. Grayson's lips crashing against mine in the car, his cedarwood scent during my last heat, calloused fingers tracing my bonding gland. Heat flooded my cheeks. I drained the glass. Must be witchcraft. Why else would I fantasize about my sworn rival? The empty glass clinked as I stood. My knees buckled. The room tilted. Since when did I get drunk on schnapps? Fumbling for my room key, I barely registered the arm yanking me into the service corridor. My struggles met immovable force. Relax. Summer. Marcus concrete, dust scent clogged my throat. Temporary marks fade. Mine could overwrite his. His thumb scrubbed my bonding gland raw. I tried kicking but collapsed bonelessly, heat waves crashing through me again. Patience. His grin turned feral. Spiked your drink with heat accelerant. Don't worry. Panic spiked as he flipped me against cold tile. Gray. A calloused palm silenced me. Screaming won't help. Hayes is chasing decoys across campus. Rotting leaves and motor oil. His scent burned like acid through my glands. I thrashed weakly as his teeth neared my throat. Then cedarwood. Faint but unmistakable. Grayson. The name slipped through Marcus' fingers. Shut up. He slammed my head against tile. He's not. The emergency exit exploded inward. Grayson's fist connected with Marcus' jaw like a wrecking ball. I've never been so disgusted by anyone in my life. Don't worry. I'll make you feel good. Marcus released his grip. The door burst open with a crash. Grayson stood there, fresh wounds visible on his body. His expression froze when he saw me, Then his eyes reddened instantly. He lunged forward, slamming Marcus against the door with a sickening thud. The room flooded with the oppressive pheromones of an S-class alpha, pinning Marcus helplessly to the ground. My own breathing grew labored as the heat surged through me. Through the haze, I called out Grayson, begging him wordlessly to take me away. Only after reducing Marcus to a bloodied heap did Grayson turn to me. He carried me to his room where the heat suppressant's failure became undeniable. My skin burned like live coals, every exhale scorching my throat. Sweet orange blossoms clashed violently with the emerging ivy scent in the air. "Grayson, please!" My trembling fingers fumbled with buttons as primal instinct overrode reason. Grayson gathered me against his chest, his calming pheromones momentarily easing the agony. "I'm sorry I left you unprotected," he murmured, eyes glazed with matching desire. His words barely registered through the biological storm raging within me. When my lips found his, the world tilted. I found myself sinking into mattress as Grayson's voice vibrated against my skin. "Summer, even if you regret this tomorrow, I won't let go." Ivy exploded through the room as his rut synchronized with my heat. For 7 endless days, Grayson's teeth in my neck and hands on my hips became my entire universe. Only during brief water breaks did I remember how to form coherent thoughts. My lower body might as well have been separate from me entirely. "Still with me?" Grayson's worried face swam into view, offering a glass. I sipped slowly, reality crashing back. "What about Marcus? That bastard?" Grayson's expression darkened. "Currently hospitalized with 3 broken ribs. Once discharged. He'll serve 25 years in the Andromeda Penitentiary for violating Omega Protection Act Article 7, 21, and 36. Don't worry, I've ensured his stay will be memorable." Relief loosened my shoulders. "Thanks, I guess." His thumb brushed my bonding mark. "My failure to protect you won't happen again. You're mine to cherish, Summer." I looked away, heat rising that had nothing to do with biology. "We'll see about that." Grayson's lips curved dangerously. "Did my recent performance not meet expectations?" "Ugh, you're impossible." "Then let me redeem myself properly this time." His mouth captured my protests, the argument dissolving into breathless laughter and the familiar tang of ivy wrapping around us once more. After avoiding Grayson for so long, I ended up entangled with him again through life's twists. Maybe this was fate all along.